Scott Brown here. If you're anything like me and you've tried to build cabinets in small workshops, you would have struggled with what I've struggled with. It's not that we can't get straight cuts. It's not that we can't be accurate and square. It's that it takes so long to do it and to be able to repeat it. Because that's what these things are, right? Like this small cabinet here, 1, 2, 3, 4. There were like 20 square cuts that were required to build this small cabinet here. So in this exciting episode, I'm upgrading just a little bit my Ron Pork style workbench. And with that upgraded top, I'll show you how it gets square, accurate, repeatable cuts. Square, accurate, repeatable cuts. That's what the goal is. This is a square that goes on your track. Now that's assuming you have a track saw. I highly rate track saws, especially if you're going to try and do cabinet making at home. It is an expensive tool. A good one is about $1,000 in New Zealand. So if you're going to go to that effort of getting a track saw, get a track saw square. So the track saw square is good. Many different people make them. This one from Bench Dogs is really well made. You can get square cuts, you can get accurate cuts, but the repeatability is the issue that I've had. You still have to measure and mark. If you're cutting a whole bunch of boards that are the same size, that leaves room for error, or at least slows you down. Now the other tool that I've tried to make cabinets with here at my house, I built a kitchen with this thing. Table saw. Table saw is great. But the ironic thing about a table saw is the big saw is better for small things. So lifting up a full sheet of plywood and feeding it through a table saw and trying to get it accurate takes 2 people, and you don't always get it bang on. As sheets get bigger, it's easier to take the saw to the sheets. That's why a track saw is better. The table saw was handy when we were doing the smaller cuts, but it was hard to get a clean cut on the table saw. Yes, you could make a table saw sled. There's plenty of videos on YouTube about how to do that. But the method that I'm going to use and show you in this episode, I think is better for making cabinets. So the number one thing to make this system work is an accurate gridded hole system. And I have just the tool for it. Okay, I thought I was going to be the loud neighbor today, but my next door neighbor is trimming trees, so it's not just me. This is the key part, and I thought I'd explain it quickly in between the noise. You've heard of the 3-4-5 trick. 3 units of measurement going down one side, and that's 4 centimeters. As long as this, so loud, as long as that's 5 centimeters, this will be square. Instead of the 3-4-5 trick, we're going with the 6-8-10 trick. I just did like 50 million 3mm holes. I've done a grid here, I'll show you. That's the basic grid, but now I need more over here. So I've set up our 3-4-5 system again, and look at the holes. They line up perfectly. So that tells me we're on the right track when it comes to drilling these holes over here. Now another thing that means I'm on the right track is just how difficult it is to put these pins in and out. These ones here, they are not threaded, they're not anything, they're just perfectly 3mm. And when you push it into that timber, oh man, it's hard work. And when you pull it out, again, hard work. They're machined perfectly to fit into these holes. Now these holes have to be perfect because the bigger holes, the ones that we actually put our bench dogs in, need a starting point. Now part of the system, they have this little drill bit that has a perfect little 3mm starting point, for the lack of a better word, at the bottom of it. It doesn't cut wood or anything, it's just there to go into those 3mm holes, and then you can get your 20mm holes accurate. And then after that, you just got to screw a million holes. Oh my god. 144 holes later, it's done. Oh my gosh. Perfectly square. You put the little flag stop thing over, and once you've set it to your measurement, you put your timber in, and then you can cut it. And because of these two bench dogs, so long as you keep your track hard up against them, your cut will be square to the timber that's put against the fence. Now I thought of not putting as many holes in as I did, because for this fence and the track thing to work, you only really need holes along there and holes along there. But I use this bench for many different things, and one of the main things is clamping things like that. And because there's holes everywhere, you can usually get a clamp in somewhere. Now, one thing that is mildly irritating when I'm using this workbench, I cut something and then I've got nowhere to put the track saw. And I left this open on purpose. This middle support supports everything, but I wanted space either side for a vacuum cleaner. I reckon I can have best of both worlds. So there you go, no matter what side you're working on, you got a little shelf for the track saw and still put the vacuum. And I made sure the shelf was big enough to hold the track saw box as well. So I can have the track saw and the vacuum on the other side and have the track saw box on this side. These are the little improvements I've been wanting to make. What do you think of my workbench?
Yeah, cool. Looks like your other one, but tidier.
This system should be pretty simple to work with. Jess isn't a carpenter, so
What?
if she can do it, anyone can do it.
Again, this does feel vaguely insulting, and I don't know why. She can do it, anyone can do it. She's bloody hopeless. Not. Okay,
Right, so you're going to do two cuts. You're going to do the shallow depth cut, and then you're going to bring it back, and then you're going to pull that out, and then you do full depth.
Okay.
Alright, the camera died on that last cut. But look! It's perfectly square. And with a little bit of tweaking, moving this side to side to line up with the track when it's on these, you get bang on your measurement. So that's how the system works. What do you think, Jess?
Yeah, we figured out that the first cut is kind of like your first pancake. We got a little bit wrong, we had to adjust, fix the temperature, how much butter do you need? Anyone who cooks pancakes will know what I mean. Your first pancake is always either, you know, for your homies or for the gods. So, I mean, other than my minimal contribution, I think we all know the only reason I'm here is for the ad segue.
Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform where you can build your online presence and run your business. When we set up a website for our renovation business, we set it up with Squarespace. And that's because we didn't know anything about coding. And with Squarespace, you don't need to know anything about coding. It's all built into the platform. And they have SEO tools built into the platform as well. So if you set up your website with Squarespace, it's going to be easier for people to find it. These tools will help you find your ideal customers. They offer many tools to help with business. You can even invoice from your website. And that invoice will be branded similar to the style of your website. They have hundreds of templates to choose from, so once you choose a template that matches the style of your business, everything else will flow with it. And it's very easy to add images and data and everything to that template with their drag and drop functionality. And they offer Squarespace email campaigns, so you can set up a regular connection with your customers. And good news, if you want to try this out for yourself and see if it fits your business, they offer a free trial, so you have nothing to lose. But then once you're ready to launch your own website, make sure you go to squarespace.com/Scott Brown Carpentry, and you can save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you, Squarespace. So why am I building this workbench now, of all times? So I built this kitchen myself in that garage, and I have a lot more cabinetry to do before this renovation is complete.
We've got this navy wall, and we want a built-in cabinet with some shelves for plants. Imagine like a record player, a lamp, a bit of art, and then everything hidden with storage. Yeah, maybe something that's just a bit better than this system.
What's wrong with it?
I love just mushing all my crap into a corner and wondering what's there every time I look for my hat.
Cabinet making here as well.
As much as I love looking at all of our dirty shoes every day, it'd be nice to have something to store them away, maybe like a seat, maybe a shelf, a mirror.
More cabinets.
This is almost our entire wardrobe. It'd be quite nice to have something in our room and a little bit better.
More cabinets. A lot of cabinets to make. So that's the reason that I wanted to make this table, this workbench, which I think is the best workbench for making cabinets at home. But what do you think? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below what system you use if you're building cabinets in your workshop. And I'll see you in the next exciting episode.